When I was in USM, Penang, I was also doing my master degree as well as working for the local television station at that time. I had to travel back and forth, up and down Penang to KL to do my classes as well as to work at the same time. Most of the time I'll go in early mornings where it's around 5, 6. For that particular day, my cousin and his colleague decided to join me on that ride. We left quite late, after midnight. So he was at the back, and then I asked him, I said, hey, right? And I was waiting for a response from him, and he didn't answer. So I looked up at the mirror, and I saw his eyes just staring at me. But in a very strange way, because his eyes were really big. So I turned around and he was sleeping. His eyes were closed. And he was, his arms were on his chest, sleeping like that. So I said, okay, that's weird. I just looked up again one more time, and again his eyes was looking at me. And at that point of time, and this is the eerie part, was when he touched me on the shoulder. And I turned around, and again he was at that same position where he's sleeping, and I'm like, stop playing around. Stop playing around, you're freaking me out. And then I remembered, we were now at the Ipoh stretch. There's a stretch in the highway where they all say that it's very haunted, that stretch where it's very windy. There's rumored to be a lot of ghosts and really funny encounters that has taken place there. And it didn't help that the other guy was already asleep, and I had no one else. So all I could do was I just quickly said a prayer, pumped up the music, and just let it be. Of course, when we reached the destination, I asked him, I said, dude, do you know what happened? Were you fooling around? Were you, And he swear to God he didn't. I mean, and I know because he's such a sweetheart. He doesn't lie. He's not that sort of person. But at the same time, I didn't want to go too much into telling him what exactly happened because I didn't want to freak him out. You don't want to scare, your friends and your family. So again, I've learned to suppress it. And I couldn't understand why it came in the form of my cousin, but deep inside, I just shrugged it off. So I let this thing hitchhike a ride with me, and hopefully when it reaches its destination, it'll just be gone. As years passed on, we just moved to a new place. This strange guy that I've been noticing for the past few months, it's this old man, about 70 years old. The reason why I find him so odd was because when I do see him around the neighborhood, around the houses, there were lots of mineral water bottles around him. I would see him from far, and he'll look at me, but very quietly, and I never did, I wouldn't hi or, but because I just thought maybe he's just a bit of a senile man, someone who's there when he just likes collecting mineral bottle waters. The funny thing is, he's usually by the swings. One day I decided to go and look at him, or to see if this guy's for real or am I just imagining stuff. So I went to touch the bottles and they were real. They fell down and they were real there. And he would pick it up, but somehow, I didn't know why I didn't want to try and touch him or talk to him. Perhaps because I was worried that my boyfriend and my girl would be frightened. Now, coming back to Isabel, for that first time, I stopped nearby to the playground because she started waving to the uncle, and the uncle actually waved back. And I'm like, Belle, can you see the uncle? And she said, there, uncle. So I said, so you can see that uncle? My boyfriend then was still in the car getting some stuff. At that time, that's when I found out Isabel could actually see the person, so we were talking. He asked me, who you guys talking to? Who is Isabel waving to? And I said, can't you see? And he said, no. And then I knew for sure it was just Isabel and myself who could see whatever. He was being very cynical, and he said, like, I said, really, you don't see that? And he said, no, I don't see anyone. I'm surrendering to the fact that Isabel can see. I pity her because I know how I went through. But at the same time, I feel so relieved that I've got a friend who can see these things, who will understand what I'm feeling. Eventually, my boyfriend and I got married, and he has learned to deal with the fact that his stepdaughter and his wife sees other things that he can't see.
As soon as I saw the house, I was intimidated. And it's been abandoned for at least 30 years.
Our job on that day is to clean the house, to move the unnecessary thing for the next day's shoot.
I don't think you should go around touching stuff which is, hasn't been moved for decades.
And then the runner started to get like a little bit sick.
She said there was someone running underneath the house.
It was the second month of our internship. At the time we already start the project like for 2 weeks, and then me and Hanif joined in.
I think it was on the second week on set, and we just shifted location. As soon as I saw the house, I was intimidated. It was a very old, dusty, run-down house. And it's been abandoned for at least 30 years. Surprisingly, it was still functional. You can use the toilet, you can use the kitchen, the stove is there, but I don't think you should go around touching stuff which is, hasn't been moved for decades.
Our job on that day is to clean the house, to move the unnecessary thing for the next day's shoot. Me, Hanif, my prop master, and a runner and a crew. We actually went there and set up everything, cleaned the house, move out the unnecessary props like sofa, tables, those old things that stay in the house. After finished cleaning, so we decided to rest. At that time there was 4 of us. And I don't feel comfortable in that house. And then after I lie down, my heartbeat actually gone faster.
I couldn't sleep. But then I heard LD receiving a call from someone. And I don't remember what the conversation was about. And I find that the handyman, he started moving like really slowly. He started like looking to the right, to the left. He had this glazed look. It's like, I don't know what's going on.
And then the runner started to get like a little bit sick.
He was mumbling nonsense. The prop master came back and he noticed what was going on. So he tried to take care of the guy. It was already nightfall.
And then our prop master read some mantra and whisper to his ear, something like to communicate with another world, spiritual thing. I Malay call it wudu, something like prayers that they do. You know, with Muslim, before they go for prayers, they wash their hands, wash their feet, face, everything.
We were just underneath the stairs, and then I was holding the rubber hose, and as soon as he started,
and then we heard a sound like pong. We were like, what happened? And then he was like, never mind, something pushed me.
oh my God, what thing? I did not see anything at all, you see. So for me, I was feeling like, my goodness. But then he was saying, you three stay downstairs.
So we stood at the main entrance of the house in front of the stairs. And then the crew was taking care of our stick friend. So we were talking. And then the girl suddenly looking one kind, like from one direction. I was like, hey, don't look like that. It's kind of spooky and scary, and I already have a goosebump. I don't know what she sees, but she saw something.
And then she told me, she whispered in my ear, she said there was someone running underneath the house.
So I just look up again, and then I saw somehow a white figure, like human shape.
He said he saw this long-haired lady wearing white. Oh my God. We were too scared to go upstairs, and we were too scared to stay downstairs.
So he was trying to calm me down. I just couldn't believe what I saw lah. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to move. I don't know how to react with it. So I suggest like, can we like go up to the house? And then the prop master go to the sick guy and then whisper something, and then he asks us who peed behind the house.
Siapa yang kencing dekat belakang rumah tu? Awak.
I was thinking, was it me? Because I was one of them, you know, I was one of them. I was thinking, LD and I were really freaked out. We're like, crap, was it us? Was it us?
And then our sick friend started to cry and apologizing and confess that he was the one who peed behind the house. My grandmother also used to tell me that it's not your place, it's not your home, so you have to respect where you are.
Oh, on the last day on that particular set in Hulu Langat,
I was cleaning the hallway, and then Hanif was at the hallway near the kitchen. Our lighting crew, they want to take off the electricity.
basically we blacked out for like just a couple of seconds. I remember holding a pan and a broom. Okay, a broom on my left hand, pan on my right hand. It just blacked out for a second. When the lights came back on, I was looking at my hands. I was looking down, and then I saw that, you know, I only had my pan in my hand. And I realized that my broom was missing.
I say, LD, yeah, you know I was sweeping the floor, right, just now? So I say, yeah, you were sweeping the floor. But my broom is not with me now.
I walked to the kitchen, and I realized the broom was just standing right there. And it was swaying. It was swaying left to right in the kitchen. I was like, oh my goodness, I have to finish my job. I don't want to do anything anymore. I just ran, took the broom, and I ran out of there. That was the first time it happened to me. So when it actually happened to you, you're like, oh God, what do I do?
So we wrapped up, we locked the door, and then we go for supper. Then revealed more things to us, which is he said he received a message on the phone, which is no number, but is in an inbox. The message actually said, put the things where it's supposed to be. Put it back, the thing where it's supposed to be. And then our PM actually asked us, okay, do you guys move the books? And then we say, no, the books, it was in the bedroom. We didn't touch it. Do you guys move any pictures or any pictures frame? Yeah, we did move one picture, which is a lady picture. It's a portrait picture. In our knowledge that she was the last owner of the house. Our production manager actually told us, yeah, I think that's the one that you're not supposed to move.